Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Dory. Today I'm going to do another tag video. I was tagged by Carolina at Looks Lover Carolina, as well as Julie at Agent Bag Reviews. I love you guys, love working with you guys, or you girls I should say. But this is going to be the bags that trigger emotions tag. And I'm going to be real. Because I've only been loving handbags for the last year and a half or so, I think about a year and a half, and my life has changed for the better since loving bags. Not financially better, but when it comes to navigating my life with my new responsibilities and everything, I do not have a whole lot of bags that trigger a lot of emotions. I pick out my bags myself. None of them are gifted. I buy and sell my bags quite often, so I don't have my first bag from Coach. I don't have that anymore. It was the quilted Tabby 26 in the black brass. That's the first bag I ever purchased from Coach, and that was last year. And it didn't work out for me. So I don't really have a whole lot of emotions attached to the bags. And for the life of me, I can't remember how many bags we were supposed to pick out, but I'm going to show you the ones that trigger at least some sort of emotion and nostalgia, if my son lets me. So the first bag I want to show you guys is a bag that I haven't worn in a minute. I think I haven't worn it since spring of this year. But I'm going to show you guys, I don't show it that often either, but my Nikki, medium Nikki in the caramel color. This is my first European luxury bag, high-end, non-affordable luxury bag. I purchased this from The Real last spring, and I guess this triggers an emotion of accomplishment and also transition of my life. I bought this when I was still a working mom. As you guys know, I started my own business in 2016. 3 years later, 2019, I was doing it full time. I got bored really quickly, then I ended up trying to get another job, and then 2020 happened and I was going to be a flight attendant. I can say that now because I'm not doing it anymore. But I wasn't training to be a flight attendant when 2020 happened and we got sent home mid-training, and I just never went back. I ended up getting married in 2021, and then we had our baby the following year. We were pregnant the same year on our first try. And the following year after that, I purchased this bag. And I was still a working mom. I was still running my business. It was still somewhat booming, as much as it could boom while I was going through that transition. I was still selling to hotels and stores and everything wholesale. It has since stopped, since I stopped working at it. I don't promote it. I don't work as hard at it anymore. So I don't think it's going to continue. But this is something that I purchased with my last big payout from my own business, with my own money, all of that. And so it represents that transition in my life. Before we got married, my husband and I, we both decided to have one parent at home with our son or whatever other kids we may have. I don't think we're gonna have another one. I'm getting older and I had a hard birth, so I'm kind of scared of childbirth now. So it represents that time. My last big payout of my business. I had a really good month, or I had a really good couple of months before I shut my business down that time. And I purchased this for The Real World for $1,800. And I still had a lot of money left over after I purchased this bag. But it was my first big girl purchase when it comes to frivolous items like this. And I loved it ever since. My son was turning 2 and we were in Las Vegas with my family. We were ready to move because we were not going back to Washington. So it holds a lot of memories. It comes to me being a working mom, me transitioning to a full-on non-business owning, non-boss babe, none of that, just a strict traditional wife and mom now. Yeah, this one triggers a sense of accomplishment and transition away from one lifestyle into the next. Bag that I can think of that triggers emotion is one that I purchased this summer, which is the Coach sketch print Tabby in the size 26. You guys know I've lost a lot of people in my life this year. Lost a nephew, another nephew. I lost one nephew 2 years ago. Another nephew passed away this year in the summertime, beginning of summertime. Just like super tragic. A friend from high school passed away. One of the elder aunts passed away. My dog actually finally passed away last Sunday. So it's been a lot of like back to back deaths. And I had purchased this bag not even thinking about it. I just really liked the sketch print Tabby ever since it came out. I wanted to get the chain tabby in the sketch print because I like the sketch print more on this bag, but I ended up falling in love with the regular tabby after I got my fuchsia one with the refined calfskin. I still haven't worn it though, but yeah, I got this one. And it triggers emotions because of everybody that passed away in my life all at once. And then now my dog, she was aging really bad. It was a hard summer just taking care of her. It was rough because I was here by myself all summer, and like she had gone blind completely. It was coming over the years going blind, but she was completely blind. She lost control of her bladder. She was losing a lot of weight, eating a lot, but losing a lot of weight. And it just seemed like she was holding off until my husband got back from deployment. And then a week later, she passed away. That was the last time I saw her like wag her little tails when my husband came home and she heard his voice or whatever. It was so interesting because it's like, I had her since she was 5 months old. Not 5 months, oh my God. I've had her since she was 5 weeks old, and I was holding her in the palm of my hand and everything. And she grew up and she had puppies with my mom's dog. We just saw she was getting fat and turns out she was pregnant. She had puppies. One of her other puppies had puppies. And now like we have so many family members who have puppies of my dog's lineage. And that dog has been around since I was single. I met my husband 8 months later. So he was much as her parent as I was, like lived with us. She moved around the country with us. She's traveled with us. She lived with me in Dallas. She's been to Vegas on road trips. She's been through Arizona, New Mexico, twice to Texas, that road trip going. She's been everywhere with us. 23, traveling around, moved from New York, got the dog. I didn't intend to. My mom gave me the dog when I didn't ask for it. So I ended up having to take care of her and figure out my travel plans with her to now, doing all the traveling with the dog and then getting married, having my son and being here with my son up until he was 3 years old. And now she's gone. So yeah, so it just has like different like bye-bye butterfly and love. And my son loves dinosaurs, so I like that it has like an imprinted Rexy because he always likes to look at it. So yeah, this is another bag that triggers probably the most like sad emotion, I guess, because I think about everything that happened this year in my life. Another bag that kind of triggers some, I guess, nostalgia in me because I'm a 90s kid. I was born in 89, but my childhood was going up into the 90s where there were no cell phone, no social media, a lot of Sega and PlayStation 1s and Game Boys and things like that. Back when I was a latchkey kid, you know what I mean? Latchkey kid, walking to and from school, playing outside, coming home, having a key, all of that thing. Something I would never let my son do in this day and age ever. But this bag, I'm not one of those girls who was into handbags my whole life. Like I only recently it'll hit 2 years now pretty soon. My son inspired me to get into handbags because I had another human being to take care of and travel with. I was on plane every couple of weeks, but I didn't want to be super frumpy because I was feeling frumpy because my weight was up after, being postpartum. But I've been traveling with my son since he was 3 months old. Every 6 to 8 weeks, I was on a plane with him. So I started getting more into handbags, wanting to look stylish, but also have the capacity to care for two, So that's a tangent. But when I was growing up, there was always still bags that I kind of remember looking at. The older teenagers or older women in their 20s. It's crazy seeing older women in their 20s now that I'm in my 30s. But this was one of the style bags that I remember loving as a kid. This one in the Dooney bag, which I don't have, the Dooney satchel. But it's one of the silhouettes that I remember loving, seeing on people. And I always think of like the 90s style where we would wear like the overalls, maybe a crop top, and one overall will be unlatched to the side. And then you'll just have this bag or something similar hanging on there. Maybe your overalls were like cuffed or rolled up, but that's what I think about when I imagine this bag. And When they re-released it a couple years ago, it was one of the first videos that I saw when I first found Asian Bag Reviews channel. She had the green one. I was researching this bag because I didn't know like what it was when it came out, if it was available, and it wasn't available. And yeah, so getting this year, it just reminds me of so much of my childhood and things that I wish I could have worn, but I was like too young. What would I need this bag for? It was probably taller than me too. But yeah, this brings up a lot of nostalgia from my childhood and growing up. And it just makes me, I don't know, it just makes me think of that time and knowing now that I finally have it and I can wear it and love it. It's just a special bag to me. Another bag, this is a wild card. It's not very interesting, but it has a lot of memories attached. This is the Dooney Bourke Murphy backpack. This bag, it has like the nylon straps, and my mom always wanted a Dooney backpack. And when I asked her to pick one out so I could buy one for her, she wanted the one that was like kind of dome shaped. And then when I also showed her this one, she liked it. So I got her the one in the black. I don't know if she ever used it, but I got her the black on black one, and it was like really good. This one is the elephant color one. And this brings up a lot of memories because this was like the main diaper bag from when my kid was 1 up until now. We don't really use diaper bags anymore. But yeah, it had like diapers, swim diapers. If you follow us on Instagram, you know he's swimming. He loves being in the water. I've had him in the water his whole life, and it's his favorite thing, his favorite activity. So yeah, it has a red interior. But yeah, we've used this for like water. We've used it to travel. This bag has been all over. It's been to the Pacific Northwest where we used to live for our first duty station. So it's been hiking through the Pacific Northwest with us when I still had my baby in the carrier. My husband would wear this on his back. It's been on several airplane rides. The nylon straps made it super comfortable for me to wear when I had, a smaller baby carrying him around throughout airports and everything. So yeah, it's hiking through the Pacific Northwest in the mountains. It's been on many airplane rides. It's been on the Vegas Strip. It's been on car rides, across road trips. It's been to Houston. It's been to Austin. It's been to Dallas. It's been everywhere, carrying our parental life. And it's funny because my husband has used this bag more than I have, because usually now that I'm into handbags, I usually want to carry my own bag and not something like this, We're like at the Pike or something. He's always like packing kids stuff. So he's always putting like snacks, the diapers, the wipes, everything. He'll load it up and then he'll just sling it on the bag. And on his back, and he'll pick up the kid and he'll head out. And I don't have to do anything but be cute. You know what I mean? I would say my husband has carried this bag more than me, but it's been living life with us ever since we got it. So it does have a lot of memories. We haven't used it so much anymore, but when we go out of town, and we'll be going out of town probably more often doing staycations. Now that we don't have our dog anymore, it's like we have to worry about hurrying up and getting home to take care of our dog. So we're gonna keep this around because this is probably still gonna stay being my son's backpack, even though we don't use diaper bags anymore. But change of clothes, underwear, he's still potty training. So, half diaper bag, half like toys. But yeah, that's another one. Let's see. I have a lot of bags that I'm looking at. Today is a filming day. I think the last bag, triggers some sort of emotion and nostalgia. I'm going to go with my recent purchase of the Louis Vuitton Speedy. I filmed details of my conversion kit or conversion setup because it's not a set that you can buy. You got to buy these things separately. I filmed it and I never uploaded it. So these will be out of order because I filmed my Empire 21 video after my conversion kit video, but I wasn't confident in my conversion kit video because I was yapping, but I'll upload it before this one. But this, my Louis Vuitton Speedy 30 that I recently got on a really good deal from the Real. It was under $700, and I had recently sold a bunch of stuff also, so I didn't really have to pay too much extra. and it has the conversion kit. So it's given, you can say it gives more Speedy soft vibes, but it doesn't have the handles from end to end. It's coming from this here. And I was getting recommendations to not do the straps, like do crossing diagonally over the zipper. So I got 2 of the perfect straps and attached it to either side. So it's lashed to both sides, and then the shoulder pad makes it more comfortable. But this brings up memories of when I first decided that I wanted to embark on traveling to multiple places by myself. I'm from California, so I was living in the Bay Area where I'm from, and took my first solo trip close by. I went down to Los Angeles to visit some friends, and I went to see the Kevin Hart show. Oh my God, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah. A friend of mine, we went to see Kevin Hart, and I just remember laughing so hard at that show. I can't remember which one it was. It's on Netflix. All of his stand-ups are on Netflix still. But yeah, it's on Netflix, but I went to see it live, and it was my first comedy show. And yeah, Kevin Hart was just now like becoming the Kevin Hart that he is now. But I remember that was like my first solo trip. And I just remember laughing so hard at that comedy show that I almost threw up in the theater. Like, I had never laughed so hard in my life. But yeah, that was the solo trip that inspired me to continue traveling like by myself a little bit more, instead of waiting around on people to have the schedule and the money at the same time that I had the schedule and the money. And a lot of my friends also were going in different directions. Like, they started having kids much younger. So it was a period where I didn't feel like I had many friends. And just like now, like, I don't think I have many friends either, outside of my husband, but like that I see in person. But yeah, I started to embark on a journey, wanted to see more of the world and figure out myself. And this was one of the bags, or this was the bag, different size. I wanted the 25. I wanted to get one of these because I kept buying different bags as I started to travel all the time to just carry, and they were like fall apart, going through the ringer, you know, and it's like fall apart. So something was telling me to just like pay the money, like skip one plane ticket, right? Buy this bag to where you don't even have to think about it. It's not going to fall apart like these bags are getting, you know, from side street vendors and things like that. So yeah, when I got back, I was living in New York for like a summer, I think 5 months or something like that. I was living in New York, and I was seeing these bags here and there, and I was touching them, feeling them, and, you know, learning more about it. I decided that I should probably get one of these for what my lifestyle was at the time, but I couldn't bring myself to pay the money. You know, I was young, never rich. I always like had to work as I traveled, save up, work there. When I was in New York, you know, it was a lot of job opportunities, so I was able to save up a lot of money really quickly. I just wasn't able to bring myself to spend a lot of money on a material item, so I never got it. And now I don't live that lifestyle anymore, but it just makes me think of like what I was going through in that phase of my life, how much fun I had, and how I just could not bring myself to buy material items at that time. But now I have it, and yeah, it just makes me think of my younger 20 self and all the adventures I was on before I decided to just settle down and be happy. Yeah, I finally have it. So it's like another, like, I guess, accomplishment, but it was more like a Coach Empire 40 price. Cheaper than that, I would say, or around the same price. So it wasn't as much of an accomplishment as my YSL Nikki here, which is way more expensive. But yeah, this came out of my own money, my own business. I'm still a working girl, still a working mom. I always say that I've always been a stay-at-home wife and mom for this entire time, but it's just that I had a business that I was running for my house that afforded me a lot of my shit, you know. I do have to be a little bit more, I guess, cautious. Like, my husband is happy to be these things, but it's not the same as when I was working really hard and saving or whatever, and we had that 2 income. It's just not there anymore. So I think that's everything that I can think of that triggers emotion. Hands down, when we think emotion, we think sad and weepy. This is definitely my sad and weepy bag, but it brings such joy and character at the same time when you look at all of it, because all of it is positive sayings on there, like charge, like luck, and all of these cheeky designs. So it's a very joyful bag, but I just have that connotation because of when I bought it, how much grief and everything I was going through, especially watching my dog slowly wither away and everything like that. This is more of a grief-stricken bag that I have, but most of everything is joyful emotions and accomplishment and nostalgia. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I will talk to you later. Bye. Thanks for tagging me, you guys. I look forward to doing more tags and working with you guys some more, and I will talk to you later. Adios.